I never look out at a congregation or an audience, but that I don't remind myself that every one of us is a story. And I remind myself that you never know. Some of those stories are too heavy to carry. Kathleen and I raised 3 daughters. 3 daughters, they like, well, you've raised children, you know how they are. They went through what we call phases. They went through eras, and we had to go through them too, because that's what you do when you're raising kids. 2 or 3 of them, the first thing they decided what they wanted to be the first era was they were gonna be ballet dancers. Never figured that out. I think it was a little outfit they wanted to. They saw the little picture ballet, but then they found out that ballet was serious. It was work, and so that phase, the ballet phase, didn't last that long. Then they wanted to learn to play the violin. Violin is perhaps makes some of the most beautiful music that anyone could imagine. But in the learning stages, it's what I would have to describe as cruel and unusual punishment. So when they finally got out of that phase, we were grateful that the little violins were put up on the shelves of the closet, and that was that. Then it was gymnastics. I think it was probably the Olympics. They see the Olympics, it's monkey see, monkey do. I want to do that. And they were already, you know how they are. They're kids, and they're running everywhere, jumping, and so on and so forth. And so they wanted to go to gymnastics, and off we went. People imagine with the kind of career that I had that I probably didn't spend that much time at home. But you'd be wrong. I'm quite sure, more time at home than most people get to spend with their children. Because in between my work, I was just there. I was there 4 or 5 days a week, and so it was me. It was me to take them to school and take them to their dental appointments and take them here and to spend time with my children, for which I'm very grateful. And when they wanted to take gymnastics, there I was, waiting after school and taking down a little metal building down there at the edge of town for gymnastics. And I'd sit out there in the parking lot while they took their lesson. The gymnastics building there on Celanese Boulevard in Rock Hill, I see it from time to time, reminds me of this. It's kind of a weirdly designed building. It had windows all across the front, but they were not down low enough so that you could see.
Not me this time.
The windows all across the front were not down low enough so that you could see the children inside. They were up a little higher so that all you would see every once in a while was somebody would jump up. It was like a little puppet show, a little Ham's weird. Oh, there she is. Oh. So I'd sit out in the parking lot and I'd watch the show. But then, over the months that they took the course, I started to notice the instructor for the school, the little gymnastics school. The instructor caught my attention. And I'd sometimes stand in the door and I would watch. I would watch because the instructor was one of the most beautiful men I have ever seen. He was just perfect. The part of me that's gay, calm down. Calm down. I mean the part of me, come on man, that can appreciate another man that's got, that's got it together. He was, as they say, he was ripped. And he was so graceful. And he was so kind to the children. So I watched. Over the months, every once in a while, when he had a break, he'd come over and stand off to the side with me. We'd started to talk. And over the months, we became friends. And then my children outgrew gymnastics. They were on to the next thing, and we never saw him again. I guess it was about 10 years or maybe more later. The hospice chaplain there in Rock Hill pulled me aside at a gathering and said, there's a man who's been away and come back to town. He's dying of AIDS. Mm. And he says that he knows you. He says he used to teach your children gymnastics. And she told me the story. She told me the story of kneeling beside an old clawfoot tub between his parents and holding this sheet-shrouded stick figure that years before had been 180 perfectly designed pounds, and now, she said, weighed less than 100. Holding him and then lowering him into the waters. She'd been asked to baptize him in the name of God and his Son and his Spirit. Some of my stories are just too heavy to carry. I knew a man, he died. Good man and a friend. His pastors and his parents' arms round him at the end. His pastor, she was crying. She heard him pray this prayer. God who made us men who love each other, do you care when we are beaten? Do you care when we are torn? Flowers in your garden here, discarded in the thorns. My friend cried out to Jesus. His soul began to rise. With his arms wide open, reached out for the sky. You may have heard of Susan Smith, of her dirty deed, of the guilty verdict for her very crazy plea. I dreamed that she was drowning on some far and distant shore. Cold dark water filled her lungs. She sank to rise no more. People turned and walked away. She vanished from their view. The crowd along the shoreline dwindled down to two. Too young to understand her, too weak to set her free. But I dreamed I saw her children pull her gently from the sea. Now there's a place they call a kingdom. People live by grace. The leaders are their servants, and the last ones win the race. Those who love are wealthy, those who hate are poor. Honor comes from making peace, not from making war. And everyone's invited when the kingdom feast is spread. We remember how we got there in the breaking of the bread. We pass the cup around to every tear-stained face. Drink a toast to Jesus, sing Amazing Grace. Pass the cup around the room to every tear-stained face. Drink a cup of Jesus and sing. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Some of these stories are so heavy, sometimes too heavy.